everybody, and welcome back once again to SFF180. It is Monday, the 5th of October, 2015. The world is flying by, the year is flying by, but we got some more books after two massive weeks that I thought were really lovely, kind of made up for the drought before. We're back to sort of an average kind of week, 4 packages, so not going to take that long. But some of this stuff looks pretty interesting. Got a really big fat one and a sort of a large wide one that I don't really know what to expect. So in any case, here's the deal. I have a lot of new subscribers, new viewers as of the last week because of 2 live shows over the weekend. You may remember, but in case you missed them, on Saturday I hosted the most recent BookTube SFF Awards live show where we were recapping the September read-along titles. So that happened. I'll link to it if you missed it. And also the following day, Sunday, yesterday, over at Elizabeth's channel, Books and Pieces, a bunch of us interviewed Cameron Hurley, whose new book, Empire Ascendant, comes out tomorrow. You saw it last week, I believe, on the Mailbag. So that's super exciting. Last week or the week before, one of those. I will be reviewing that very soon. Great talk with Cameron. So linking to that as well. Go check out those live shows. They were both a whole lot of fun to do. Thanks to Elizabeth for hosting and organizing the interview with Cameron, too. So without further ado, then, let me tell the new subscribers what this is all about. Mailbag Monday is where I open up all of the review copies during the previous week that publishers sent to me. I don't know what's in these packages. We will discover them all together on camera. And then you let me know in the comments which of these new releases looks most exciting to you, which you want me to prioritize in the review queue. Okay? Got it? Good. Let's hit the books and see what we have. Okay, and this first one is a new hardcover. It comes to me from Nightshade Books, and it's called The Promise of the Child. The author is Tom Toner, so I believe a new author. It is the first volume in something called the Amaranthine Spectrum. Okay, well, I don't seem to see a sell sheet in here, so let me just read from the jacket. It says, in the future, humanity is spread across the galaxy, evolving into strange new forms, some chasing immortality. But now there are rumors of a bid to oust the Emperor and a worrying story that the history books are wrong. Humans were not the only things to leave the Earth. It is the 147th century. In the radically advanced post-human worlds of the Amaranthine Firmament, there is a contender to the immortal throne, Aaron the Longlife, the Pretender, a man who is not quite a man. In the barbarous hominid kingdoms of the Prism Investiture, where life is short, cheap, and dangerous, an invention is born that will become the firmament's most closely kept secret. Lycast, a lovesick recluse, outcast for an unspeakable crime, must journey through the provinces, braving the grotesques of an ancient decadent world, to find his salvation. Sotiris, grieving the loss of his sister and awaiting the madness of old age, must relive his 12,000 years of life to stop the man determined to become emperor. Galdezuel, Knight of the Stars, must plunder the rarest treasure in the firmament, the object the pretender will stop at nothing to obtain. From medieval Prague to a lonely Mediterranean cove, and eventually far into the strange vastness of distant worlds, The Promise of the Child is a debut novel of gripping action and astounding ambition unfolding over hundreds of thousands of years, marking the arrival of a brilliant new talent in science fiction. All right, well, that's interesting there. Been a bit of a space opera drought lately, so maybe this will quench everyone's thirst. But The Promise of the Child from Nightshade Books by Tom Toner. And here is a big old thick book that looks like it has come to me from Tor. All right, I thought that this might be what this is because it is the only thing that I know of coming from Tor that is sufficiently this massive, but this is the new book in the Safehold series. I think they're like, he's like up to book 8 now. The author is David Weber, military SF and space opera, well-known purveyor of those kinds of tales. And I've been a little intimidated to try to get into this series because, you know, it's like the Malazan, right? I mean, there's a lot of them. They're also massive. I mean, they're just gigantic, and I don't know. I mean, but I should. I've been needing some space opera in my life, I guess, because I have quite a bit to go back and start from. But anyway, yes, Weber returns to the world of Safehold, where a centuries-long war for independence rages on, and then beyond that, because this is book freaking 8, I don't want to give away too many other spoilers or plot secrets, but if you're a fan of this series, you will be happy to know that this one comes out a week from tomorrow, next Tuesday, October the 13th from Tor. So Hell's Foundations Quiver. One thing that does amuse me about this series is that all the titles are just unapologetically melodramatic, and that kind of makes me smile. But here you are, David Weber from Tor, coming out on the 13th. Okay, so from a very, very huge, fat, humongous package to a thin one, this one comes to me from Pyre Books, Prometheus. And here we have it. This is Rising Tide. The author is Rajan Khanna, and this is the sequel to Falling Sky. Let's see. These two I really, really want to get into, and I'll probably do so soon because they look pretty cool. As you see, not too demanding in terms of your time commitment. And, yeah, they're futuristic, cool world with steampunk and zombies combined, says, you know, no less a luminary than Felicia Day. She likes them. Okay, can't do too much in the way of synopsis again because this is a sequel, no spoilers. But this comes out tomorrow, October 6th. Again, the preceding book is Falling Sky. And yes, it's a futuristic story featuring a really nice, diverse cast. You know, I like the look of this character on the cover here. And so let me know in the comments what you think. I kind of would like to start reading these pretty soon. Have you noticed we're 3 for 3 and they're all science fiction this week? Okay, well, this final package comes to me from Lee and Low Books. Oh, okay. Yes, I've talked with them before. They've sent me some things previously. They mostly do YA. So let's see what we have. Well, all right, then. This is a young adult, looks like a zombie apocalypse sort of story. It's the sequel to something that I never got called Killer of Enemies. Author Joseph Bruchac brings a new breed of monsters and mayhem in Trail of the Dead, the sequel to the award-winning YA novel Killer of Enemies, out this October from the 2 books imprint of Lee and Low Books. Trail of the Dead takes readers deeper into the world of Killer of Enemies, a unique post-apocalyptic landscape with a steampunk twist. To be honest, that's not the most unique, combination of things I've ever heard in my life, but doesn't mean it's not good. In Killer of Enemies, readers were introduced to 17-year-old Lozen, an Apache monster hunter, okay, living in a world ruled by the Ones. In Trail of the Dead, Lozen and her allies have managed to escape from the Ones and now travel in search of a valley where they can find refuge, but life is never easy in this post-apocalyptic world. When they finally reach the valley, they discover an unpleasant surprise awaiting them and a merciless hunter following close behind. Well, maybe it's not zombies strictly, maybe it's just post-apocalyptic monsters of multiple varieties, you know, kind of like Fallout, right? Okay, but you know, I like the idea of, you know, Apache, heroine. That's neat. But I'm going to have to get my hands on the first book if I have any intention of reading this one. But Trail of the Dead, all right? YA fans, Apocalypse fans. It says it just comes out in October, but doesn't give a specific day. Trail of the Dead. And that's it for this week, you guys. Not very many books, but an interesting haul. Not a drop of epic fantasy to be found. It's all either science fiction or post-apocalyptic scenarios, but mostly SF this week. Pretty much predominantly SF. That doesn't happen that often these days. So, as always, fire up the comments. Let me know which of these books looks most interesting and exciting to you, which you want me to prioritize in the review queue. Otherwise, please like if you enjoyed watching, share the video with everybody on Earth, and above all, please sub if you haven't done so. That's how SFF180 grows. And until I see all of you next time, happy reading.